morning, Cozy Coven members. Welcome to this pick a card reading. Today we are specifically going to be reading for what in your life currently needs to change or something that you can transform so that you can set yourself up for a better, brighter future. I specifically channeled in messages during my meditation today that corresponded directly to the structures in your life or things that maybe you need to build more structure around in order to move forward and really commune with your higher self to bring about the best version of you and go forth to your destiny and to your purpose. So that is what we're looking at today. Now, if you've never done a pick a card before, let me go ahead and give this a little bit of an explanation. This is going to be pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you already feel like one of those numbers is calling out to you, go down to the comment section or the description box, and you're just going to click on one of those timestamps. Now, if you're not sure how to choose, this is basically what you want to do. So there are so many ways to pick cards. I highly encourage that you pause the video and actually meditate on the cards, look at them, maybe even ask your guides or spirit or God or the universe to help you choose the right one. You can also repeat the numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4 over and over in your head and see which one calls out the most to you. And you can also, another method that I like to use is actually looking at the timestamps and seeing if any of the numbers in the timestamps correspond for you. Like sometimes there will be a synchronicity of numbers. Sometimes a reading will start on like a 2222, or a reading will start on your lucky number or something, and then you'll know that that one is for you. So just take a moment, pause, and go ahead and click on the timestamp. All right, pile number 1, what I'm seeing for you guys is, I'm just going to kind of lay these out row by row as we go through. What I'm seeing for you guys is actually there is a definite fear, and there is definitely something ending for you. I don't want you guys to be afraid of this 10 of Swords. I do feel like the 10 of Swords is sometimes a very scary card, but that is because something in your life needs to be transformed. And that literally is the topic of this reading. So something in your life really does need to be transformed, and it's being transformed because it's actually going to bring you to a greater state of liberation and balance. There's something that you're holding on to in life that it's almost like you're afraid to change things because you have this attitude of what's not broken, don't fix it. And I say that because we are seeing this card here is a lot about like tending to your garden or tending to your life. And so I think there's almost like you feel like the machine that is you, or that is your job or your relationship, it's technically still working, it's still standing. And so therefore you're kind of afraid to approach it and change anything. And I'm telling you right now, with a 10 of Swords coming out, this is change that's going to happen no matter what you do. So right now you have the opportunity to actually make decisions that will transform things for your highest good versus just letting go of the reins and saying, okay, universe, whatever, I'm not going to do anything. It's so much better and in your highest interest to actually, I don't want to say control, because I actually think when we try to control things, it makes it even harder. It doesn't put us in a natural state of flow with life. But I feel like because you are not willing to look at where any improvements can be made and actually like, let's look at this in terms of manifestation. In terms of manifestation, you know, we have the catalog of life that we can just open up and say, okay, universe, I would really like to experience this. I would like to experience this, and I would like to experience this. And I relinquish the control in how that's going to happen, but those are the experiences I want in my lifetime and to embody. So basically, that's really what you need to be doing, not necessarily focusing so hard on the how, but if you just kind of let nothing progress, you don't put any intention out there, then the world is just going to yank you by however it wants to. So you're actually really being asked to consider what you want. Look at how your life is now and what do you wish was different? I don't even like to say the word wish because I don't think it's about wishing. I think it's about setting the right intention. And so what in life do you feel like is missing? And I don't just mean like, oh, I wish I had $1 million. Like, I mean, really be intentional with this. Is there a feeling, maybe you're somebody who is so full of fear that you are afraid of literally everything in life. You're afraid of certain experiences. You're afraid of public speaking. You're afraid of asking for a promotion or a raise, or you're afraid of breaking it off with your current partner because you don't think there's anything better out there for you. And it's this fear that's holding you back, this fear of like, you don't think that you deserve more with your life, or that this deciding what I want and just letting it come naturally to me isn't something that I'm allowed to experience. It's only for specific people. Like, I'm not capable of making that my reality. And so you're just kind of letting life take you by instead of being intentional. And I do feel like when you get intentional there, and I don't even want to say, for some of you guys, this 10 of Swords isn't going to be like super brutal. It's not going to be this great thing of like so much pain and your whole life's going to get turned upside down. We didn't pull a tower moment. A 10 of Swords is not a tower. And even the tower to me really isn't scary if you just kind of allow it to be. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the 10. But this 10 of Swords, the thing I want you to really focus on is, even though we have this man lying on this beach, all these swords in his back, like he has been betrayed, there's a sunset and a beautiful rainbow. There's beauty still in this goodbye. And so there's aspects of your life that you need to say goodbye to. And that might be a certain job. It might be a relationship, or it might just be bad habits. This could even, for some of you, this could even be addictions that you're holding on to, addictions that are not serving you. And you need to just rip the Band-Aid off and let it go. Look for support, look for help, and let that part of you die. And I feel like this is extremely appropriate if you're listening to this as soon as it goes live, because we are in the midst of Scorpio season right now, which is a time of deep transformation. So I don't think this is any kind of coincidence that this is coming out. And once you go through this ultimate transformation, you will see on the other side that it's going to lead you to such a better place of balance, such a better place of equilibrium. This is the card that resembles Libra, right? This is beauty. This is grace. This is all things coming together for your highest good. Now, sometimes this also speaks on justice, and it speaks on contracts and maybe things that have to do with like legal work, which that is something that may come up as you're transforming your life. Maybe it's a money mindset for some of you, especially we have a Pentacles coming out. It could be a money mindset for some of you, that you just need to stop these destructive spending habits, deal with maybe the debt that has been encroaching on you. And from that, you're going to come to a much better balanced place, because where you are right now, if you've come to this reading, something in your life isn't currently working, and you already know that. So I don't even need to tell you that. You already know. You already know that something isn't working, and this is what you're ultimately looking for, is a more balanced out life that doesn't feel so stressful. So basically, you're being asked to take the first step. And it's not even like you need to go and have all these conversations and pay all these bills and do all these things. It's as simple as opening up a bank statement and figuring out how much you actually owe in debt. It's as simple as going to your partner and saying, hey, this is how I'm feeling. How are you feeling? It doesn't have to be this like argument. It's as simple as starting with something really small. If it's you dealing with food addiction, for example, it's making a small decision. I'm going to drink this many glasses of water a day and cut down on one soda or one cup of coffee, or whatever it is that you feel like is hindering your progress. It's making the steps so small that anyone could do it, and you just building on those steps. Now, the next thing that I see is we have the 4 of Earth coming out, and we have the Queen of Earth coming out. So this card makes me worry, not because something disastrous is going to happen. I'm worried about your well-being, because the 4 of Earth with this deck really, really, really speaks to you holding up a structure. I mean, literally, but you guys probably can't see the detail in this camera, unfortunately. But if you actually look at this man holding up this structure, he has blood on his arms. His arms are literally breaking down and falling apart because he's been holding up this image of himself to the outside world when he's actually crumbling on the inside. He doesn't feel like his life is currently in alignment with where he wants to go. It just looks pretty on the outside to other people. So even like, let's take it back to the debt, for instance. You know, other people see you maybe as living this lavish lifestyle because you have all these nice things, but inside you feel totally empty and like you actually can't keep up with it. And same with a relationship. Maybe other people look at you as being with this really attractive person and you're married or engaged or moving in that direction, and you feel like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what the world has taught me that relationships are supposed to look like. I'm doing everything Instagram says. But on the inside, you're holding up this structure for other people and it's actually not serving you at all. It's hurting you. So guys, please be nice to yourselves. Please realize that the only person you need to compete with or impress is yourself. Don't do this to yourself. Secondly, with the Queen of Earth coming out, I feel like for some of you, this is ultimately the energy you would like to embody. You would like to either that, or you are seeking somebody who can give that to you. You're seeking somebody who can nurture you and comfort you and help you in this time, or you're trying to become this person that kind of leads her own life. The Queen of Earth, to me, I'm a Taurus. So the Queen of Earth, when I see her come out, that's like who I'm always trying to embody in the tarot. She is somebody who takes good care of her family, is a domestic goddess, or him or her, god or goddess, and also runs an at-home business or has a very successful career at the same time. And just kind of is the end all be all, the mother of all mothers or the father of all fathers. Gender doesn't really matter. With these cards. So it doesn't matter how you identify, this could still be your energy. But I feel like some of you are looking for somebody that is going to save you from all of this, when in reality, this is just who you need to become. You need to give yourself that nurture. You need to give yourself that love. You need to give yourself that value. Instead of looking for all of these things outside of yourself, whether it's fame, wealth, money, a relationship, you're looking for all of these things to complete you as a person internally. And as you're receiving these things, it's not working. And you still feel like you're holding up this facade. It doesn't feel like what you thought it was supposed to feel like. And you're clinging to anything that is going to make your soul feel nurtured. And unfortunately, I feel like you guys are turning to the wrong things and the wrong people. So just know that anything that you feel like is going to fill that void in you, only you can do that. Believe me when I say this. Trust me when I say this. I've been there. I've been through that dark night of the soul. Nothing is going to fill that void but yourself. Your own self-love, your own self-worth, your own validation. And the more you continually crave to look for this in outside resources or outside people, even if this is a parent or a friend or a lover, or again, something that you purchase for yourself, it is never going to be enough to fill that void and make your soul feel nurtured. You have to give that to yourself. And lastly, I have, these are actually supposed to be on this side. This was how I drew them. Lastly, we have an energy that you need to kind of stop embodying at this time and then one to embody. So the energy that you've maybe currently been embodying is the sun, this like happy-go-lucky, like don't get me wrong, the sun is like a really beautiful, vibrant card, but I feel like in this reading, it really is telling a story of you just pretending that everything is okay and pretending that everything is sunny to make other people feel comfortable. You're making yourself small so that other people can feel better. Or you are the person that you are giving so much of this energy to other people that you're not leaving enough for yourself. So this is an energy that you kind of want to move away from this season of your life. And the energy you actually want to embody is death. And I know that probably sounds insane, but when we look at the death card and embracing it as our potential energy for the time being, this is extremely powerful if you're listening to this now, because again, we're in Scorpio season, which is the season of transformation. And death is a huge part of the transformation of the self. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you to go out there and die. That would be ridiculous. I would never, ever, ever, ever say that. No, when you embody this element of the death card, this is about transformation at its deepest level. You are letting the parts of you up here, very similar, the parts of you die off that are not serving you. You're letting go of the relationships, the things, the material, whatever it is that's not helping you, and you're coming back to yourself. You want to embody releasing those things so that you can actually go forth in rebirth and move on. So honestly, I would look at this like a really powerful thing. This is a time for you to actually dive more into yourself. Ask yourself where you see your life going. Ask yourself what direction you want to take your life. What goal do you want to achieve? Open up the catalog of the universe and say, hey, these are the experiences I really want to have. And then let it go and wait for it to come. And take inspired action. Inspired action is a really important part of this, but I want to reiterate with the death card, I don't really feel like you guys should be doing a lot physically. The death card, it's really a time to kind of come into yourself, practice more meditation, practice more appreciation and gratitude, and spend more time just kind of in this cocoon alone. Spending more time, even if you fall into a state that feels like a void or a dark night of the soul or something to that extent, it's like you need to become comfortable in the uncomfortable. Go to the place in your mind that makes you uncomfortable and live there. Nurture that space that is still a part of you, because from that fear and from those parts of you that are scary, that's honestly where the rebirth is going to start to happen. That's where the light is going to start to stream through the cracks, and you're going to start to come undone and come into yourself. I feel like anybody that has been really stressed out lately with this transit, this was like that reading. This was that bitch. This was that reading that was like, you just need to slow down and give more attention to yourself right now. And again, I say this all the time in my readings. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to give people explanations as to why you're doing what you're doing. No is a complete sentence. So I hope this helps you guys. Know that I am sending you all the light and love, especially if you're having a hard time right now and this energy has been really difficult for you. All the love. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you so much. And I will see you guys in a future video. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at kozykale, and you can hire me for a private reading if you would like to. Links all down below. All right. See you guys again real soon. Bye. Hello, my pile number 2s. For you guys, we have the reversed Ace of Pentacles, the reversed Four of Wands, and the reversed Lovers card. So what this tells me is that you guys are actually in maybe a state of frustration. I feel like there was an opportunity that came your way that you guys missed out on, and now you're feeling really frustrated by that. Or maybe you feel like you got left behind specifically. Like there was maybe an event or something that took place that you just really felt left out on, and that left you having a lot of hurt feelings. And it's almost like you're blaming yourself for this. You're blaming yourself for whatever has kind of gone awry, and you're saying, oh my gosh, this was my lack of planning. This was my lack of foresight. This is my fault, my fault, my fault. And then coming up on the Lovers card, this is you feeling really out of balance with yourself because you're so clouded by this missed opportunity. I feel like this could even be jealousy in a lot of ways. You're maybe jealous of something that someone else got, and it's really put you out of alignment with yourself. It's put you in a state of you can't even really see mentally what these destructive thoughts are doing to you, what they're doing to your relationships, and the discourse that it's causing. So I just first want to say, I'm so sorry that whatever this is has happened. I'm so sorry that you genuinely feel like you're not worthy of these same opportunities that were given to someone else, because I 100% know that feeling. I've been there multiple times, And it really sucks when you feel like you're not the one who was chosen. So I'm really sorry, but please know that this really, in a lot of ways, didn't have anything to do with you. It's not a personal attack on you, whatever it was. It's something that at this time was just not meant for you. And that doesn't mean that you're not good enough to have it in the future, whatever it is. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough to ever have that experience in life. But right now, the best thing that you can really do is focus on how you react to this situation, because it is the thing that is going to dictate the next course of your life. Not like, well, I mean, it could. For some of you guys, this could be a really major thing. But for some of you guys, I'm not saying it's going to be like, now the course of your life is headed in a completely freaking south direction because you made this one reaction or you reacted in this one way. But please pay attention to how you treat others based on this. Pay attention to just your reaction. You know, you can't always control what's going on around you, but you can always control how you react to those situations. You are in control. And I feel like for some of you guys, do I even say that? I say, do I even say that? Because I'm never here to offend people. That's never my goal. It's always to help and assist. But I do feel like for some of you guys, not everyone, but for some of you, this is a time where you let your excuses come out. When you do something that is really messed up, or you say something that is really mean or hurtful, you don't take a step back and recognize, even if you don't feel like what you did was wrong, it's like you need to take a step back and recognize that you hurt other people with the words that you say. And even if you feel like you were correct, you cannot control how you made someone else feel. And you should apologize or do what you need to do to make it right for hurting someone else, even if you agree with what you said, because hurting someone else, that's not it, Chief. Like, you don't ever want to be in that kind of vibrational state where you're purposefully out there trying to hurt people. Trust me. Even if they are your quote unquote worst enemy, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the karmic cycle that will come through because of it. It's not worth it. Some of you guys, I feel like, are using this as an excuse to hurt other people's feelings and make them feel bad, though. It's like victimhood. That's what I'm getting. Like, you are playing up this victimhood and saying like, oh, well, I didn't get picked for this thing, or they overlooked me and went for you. And for some of you, this could be somebody that you really were attracted to and they picked your best friend instead. For some of you, this could be an opportunity in your career that somebody else got picked instead of you. And instead of you celebrating with that person and saying like, wow, I'm so happy for you, that's so great, you're wallowing and victimizing yourself and making the other person feel bad about it. So don't do that. Do what you will, obviously, but the other cards that I'm seeing for you, we have the 10 of water and we have the 3 of water. And the 10 of water really speaks to divine connectedness and the universal law of like oneness, which this one's kind of a tough one to wrap your head around if you've never heard it. I'll try to explain to the best of my ability, but basically it's this concept that everything is one. Like, even when you look at other people that are outside of you, quote unquote, everyone is you pushed out. So you have to find the parts of you that resonate with the other person. Like when you find fault with other people, when you're jealous, when you're angry, when you're greedy, when you are feeling these feelings that are detrimental, there is a part of you that is resonating with somebody else that is also going through those things. I hope I'm making sense. Like I said, it's kind of a hard concept to explain. How best explain? It's kind of a hard concept to really flesh out if it's something you've never heard flesh out, but it's like you... It's like you are everyone is you pushed out. So there's always like, when you pull people into your vibrational field, and rest assured, all connections that we make are from a vibrational connection. So like even the parents that we have, the siblings we have, the friendships that we have, the lovers that we have, whatever kind of relationship, those are all vibrational connections. And there's a reason that we choose them on a vibrational level as well as like a physical level. And so if you take up every person as a part of yourself and realize that everybody is you pushed out and they are also you, if like it's, man, really need to get the Lion King up in here. That whole you and I, we are one. We are like the earth and sky, one family under the sun. Is that from the first one or the sequel? I'm not sure. But there's a whole song where he's talking about how like we literally all are one. I think it's in the first one and the second one. It's like two different songs though. But he really talks about like the cycles of life and how like everything really is interconnected. But on this, I feel like it really is more about people for you. It's not so much like the divine connectedness in everything. I mean, it is, but we're really focusing on the relationship aspect. And so there's a part of you, even though you feel betrayed potentially and let down and jealous, there's a part of you that connects with that. There's a part of you that needed to experience that. And there's two reasons for it. Number one, it's something that either you have done in the past that now you needed to learn about it, or it's something that you just needed to learn from, period. It's an experience that you now have the choice to choose how you're going to respond to it. Even if you've already been responding in one way, you can literally flip that switch and start responding in a new way. It doesn't have to be consistent with how you maybe have been behaving, or some of you maybe haven't even acted on this at all. And it could just be that you're having these feelings that you don't like feeling. So it basically, this card asks you to connect with the people or person in question that you are having these hard feelings about. Take them off the pedestal. There's this element that I'm getting of like, you guys are putting them on a pedestal, especially if this is like, you feel like you got cock-blocked by your friend, basically, in terms of relationships. Recognize that they are no more worthy than you are of love just because somebody chose them over you. Doesn't make you any less worthy of love. That connection just isn't for you. And ask yourself honestly, would you even want to be with a person that like isn't in alignment with you and isn't like, obviously that relationship is not meant for you at this time. So don't focus so hard on it. Let that person have who they are with and be happy for them. And I know that's such a hard thing to do, especially if you had your heart set on someone or something or some opportunity, but try to just be happy for them, because the Three of Water tells us that you need to just let it go. Let it go. The Three of Water specifically speaks on that, about joy and pleasure and hopefulness and anticipation, because this is the beautiful message of the Three of Water is just because someone has been granted an experience that you would like to have, what that actually says, and so many people overlook this, what that actually says is it's so much closer to you than you realize. Let me give you an example. I work really good with examples, and that's why I always explain my readings this way. But for me, I really want to move house. That's something that I want more than anything in life right now. It is like my number one manifestation. I have a specific location I want to move to, and everybody around me seems to be getting new houses. Now, I could sit down and be so jealous and upset that this is everyone else's experience and not mine. Or I can say, oh my God, when is the move-in date? How can I help you pack up? How can I help you go there? How can I help you make this better? And not do it in a seething way. Do it in an honest, gratitude-filled way. Because honestly, that's what it's all about. And when those things are coming into alignment for the people around you, it's literally the universe just showing you, look what's coming for you next. So treat it in that. Treat this situation with satisfaction in knowing that with you witnessing it as often as you do and the more frequently you see it, it just means it's coming even closer for you. It's coming to you even faster. And the more you get into alignment with it, the more you're going to start seeing it pop up in your reality. That is just the reality of the situation. The more you align with a certain vibration, the more you're going to see it happen. And this goes both ways. If you align with the vibration of being jealous of your friend's success, then you're going to continue to manifest that vibration of jealousy. Your friends are going to continue to get the things that you would like to have for yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? So really embrace that. Now, lastly, we have an energy that you are currently embracing and one that you want to transform into from this, because we are in Scorpio season as I'm doing this reading. So I really did want to focus on transformation. And we have the Judgment card and we have the Lovers in the upright position. So I think this is so funny because this is where you currently are, and look at the energy you need to embrace. How interesting. So Judgment, I feel like in this situation, we can take this very literally, in the sense that I feel like you're casting judgment on someone or on a situation. Even if you haven't voiced that opinion to them, you're harboring it internally. And so I feel like from that, you're wanting to actually move into the alignment of self-alignment and harmony. The Lovers card, I know it can depict literally a couple here, but it also really speaks to being in alignment and having opportunities that are good for you and coming into your own personal alignment so that you can have those things. So this literally mirrors exactly what I just said. I swear to God, I shuffle these cards, guys. I do not sit and hand select these. I shuffle them out into piles. But yeah, so you literally need to go from a position of potentially feeling all of this judgment and just moving into a position, oh, sorry guys, moving into a position that is more in higher alignment with you. And Judgment also talks a little bit about leadership and like being somebody who rises above. And so this could even be the transition to this, is you rising above all the bullshit so you can come into a higher alignment with yourself. Because the moment you get into this harmony and higher alignment, you will see things start to happen for you. That's really where it is in your own personal alignment. I think so often we think that we need to control everything outside of us, when in reality, we need to control what's inside of us, because our inside reality is what reflects outward. If you haven't done this, literally look in a mirror right now, like after this reading, and I want you to look yourself in the eyes and don't be mean about it, but like, this could be like, for some of you guys, I feel like this could be a really harsh reality, but like really look yourself in the eyes and take ownership for where you currently are, because where you currently are in your reality is all you're creating. I know, hard truth. Truth Bomb Tuesday. Actually, is it Tuesday? No, it's Wednesday. When I'm recording this, it's Wednesday. But the reality that we create internally literally is what manifests outward. So when we have all these worries and these fears and these jealousies and these greedy feelings or whatever it might be, it will manifest outward in people, in situations, in living situations, in job opportunities. And the more you fill yourself up with things that put you in a higher vibrational state, the more you're going to see them manifest outward. And I don't tell you that because I want you to get discouraged with where you are at all. I say it because I want you to understand how much power you have. You have so much power to change this situation. I don't think you realize that you literally are like a master creator. And the more you put into yourself, the better you're going to get out of it. So good luck on your journey, my friends. I really do believe you'll make it to this state. Again, I'm so sorry for whatever you are going through. That's not an easy thing to move out of, especially when it's something that you've really had your heart set on. But just know that the universe doesn't give you desire to not see it fulfilled and delivered. The universe gives you desire to see it fulfilled. You are literally given desire for that reason, because you're meant to have those experiences. The universe isn't mean or greedy or unkind or cruel. It wants to give you what you want. So best of luck to you. Thank you so very much for watching. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at kozykale, and I will see you guys in a future reading. Bye. Hello, my group number 3s. Now for you guys, I have an interesting allotment of cards, I would say. We did pull the Tower, and I know that nobody likes seeing this card. So I'm just going to put that out there now. We did pull a Tower. We did pull a Devil. We did pull a reverse 2 of Swords. And for you guys right now, I feel like you guys really feel caught between a rock and a hard place, because especially the way that the cards were drawn, the two came out in the middle of the Devil and the Tower. Like, two of, to me, some of the harshest cards in the deck, especially in the major arcana. And I feel like you guys really are just not taking any action to change the course of your direction of your life, because you feel like all the options in front of you are options that you don't want. One is going to lead you down the path of complete destruction, or what you perceive to be destruction. Did I say construction? Of complete destruction. And the other path is like almost feeling shackled and chained to something that you don't want to be chained up to, whether it be a person or a job or an addiction. Even the Devil definitely symbolizes addiction a lot of times. I feel like you guys feel like you are stuck literally being in enslavement to something, whether it be, again, a job, a person, or a vice. Or you feel like if you move away from that thing, it's going to just cause so much chaos that you just literally are in this state of doing nothing. And the two things I want to say to you are perception. Well, no, just one thing. Perception. Even on this side with the Devil, it is all about perception. Because something to know about the Devil card is, even though it seems like you're bound and chained to something, you probably can't tell in the art in the cards, but if you actually could look really closely, let me actually look at this myself. Yeah, I didn't know if the art was the same, but even in the art in the cards, the shackles that are on these two people down here, they're loose enough to where they could take them off. They're loose enough to where they can change the situation if they just changed their perception of the situation. And then on this side with the Tower, what looks like complete and utter destruction needs to happen. The Tower, sometimes it is always something that needs to happen in order for you to move forward. And it's scary, hurts like a bitch usually, no matter what it is. But it's something that once you kind of go back down to the foundation, this is how I like to look at the Tower. Once you kind of burn the entire building down, or the structure, or the relationship, the job, the whatever it is that you are holding so tightly to, once you let it literally disintegrate in front of you, I know it sounds bad, but think about this. You have nothing. You are literally at the foundational rock bottom level, and there is nowhere to go but up. So it's like things kind of have to fall apart so that they can fall together. So either way that you go, I feel like there's just, you're trying to figure out maybe what the path of least resistance is, but you're resisting both paths. So I'm not going to lie to you. Both of these paths seem like they kind of suck right at first, but if you are able to keep yourself in a level-headed position, no matter which way you go, it will be for your highest good. You can't make a wrong decision. You are never off path. I feel like that is like a myth in the spiritual community, that you're off path when something isn't going right. And honestly, you're never off path, because even when you're going through things that are really difficult, you're learning something from them. And a lot of times the hardest moments in our lives are the ones that teach us, and we grow from them the most so that we can shift into the person we're meant to be. So you're never off path. No matter which way you go, it's going to be the right decision. But your inaction is actually making this process more painful and making it take significantly longer. So this could even be something very simple. Like for some of you guys, I do think it's like a very big destructive thing, but for some of you, this could be extremely simple. This could be you trying to decide to disassemble your YouTube channel and make it something else, and abandon what you've done previously in the favor of something that you like more as a person, something that lights you up more. Or it could also be you feeling like you have to stay in a certain job, when in reality, maybe being in this job is actually going to lead you to a better one. So you only have to stick it out for a little bit longer. So I feel like for some of you, they are a little bit more simpler things. Now, what I have for you guys is also the 9 of Water and the 4 of Fire. So the 4 of Fire actually is an action-based card. This talks about just taking inspired action, period. So this is actually the direction you're going to want to start to head, is in the direction of taking action no matter what. It also is going to take a lot of focus and concentration for whatever route you guys decide to go down from where you are. It's going to be for your highest transformation and highest good. I really want to assure you guys of that. But it is going to take more focus on your part to get through this, because it might be a little bit of a rough, rocky start, but it's going to be about your mental clarity and focus that's going to bring you through. I think that really reflects out with that Two of Swords. And it also is going to take you accepting. You're going to have to come to a place of acceptance, and not just acceptance of the situation, but complete acceptance of yourself. The Nine of Water really speaks to the truth coming out, coming into acceptance, being open to different ways that the story of your life could play out. And it also talks a lot about having strength and courage and emotional enlightenment. So I feel like for you guys, this struggle is actually going to bring you, like, I'm getting the word unshakable. Like, whatever you're going through with this, no matter which way you decide to go, it's truly going to make you an unshakable person. Like, once you have gone through this, nothing is going to scare you anymore. Like, you really will be unshakable. You'll be a dangerous man or woman, really, because nothing is going to make you as afraid as you maybe are right now ever again. And it's honestly there to build strength in you. So like, that's really kind of the way through, in my opinion, is coming to this place of acceptance and taking inspired action. Now, inspired action, what the hell does that mean, right? I feel like we talk about this a lot in the spiritual community. Inspired action is a lot about, for everybody, it's a little bit different. I want to emphasize that everybody has psychic gift. Everybody has psychic gift. There are different kinds of psychic gifts. I really recommend going to Stargirl the Practical Witches channel. She has one on all the different clairs, which is like clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance. I personally identify as being clairaudient. I hear things. So when I'm reading tarot, I'm like, I'm getting, or I'm hearing, I'm having messages come through audibly sometimes. So that's like how I channel things. And I take inspired action when I hear certain things or feel. Sometimes I can feel into it as well. So for you guys, you're going to have to identify how messages come through to you, and rest assured the universe and your guides, spirit, God, whatever that is for you, speaks to you in the way that you understand. It's going to be different for every person, but once you identify what that method is, you can even claim it for yourself. Not necessarily like you can strengthen different psychic gifts, but you can even say, like, if you're having a hard time, you can say like, spirit, this caramel apples are gonna be my symbol, right? This is such a corny way of putting this, but like, maybe you're gonna say caramel apples, right? Or candy corn are gonna be my symbol. And every time I see this caramel apple symbol or a candy corn symbol, I'm gonna know that I'm on the right track. And you'll see that sign pop up everywhere. Meaning every time you feel like you're on the right track or getting closer to your goal. And again, I want to emphasize, you're never off path, ever. But when you are in more alignment with yourself and taking the correct inspired action, it's going to get you to your desired goal faster. So when you see those signs, make them whatever they will. They don't have to be these. That was just an example. It could be something that's special to you, a specific kind of animal, something that is special to you. You'll see that sign start to pop up more and more, and that will help you know when to take a certain inspired action. For me, it's numbers. When I see the number 14, I know that I'm looking at something that I need to see, or I'm doing something that I'm supposed to be doing. It's like a little nudge from the universe that's like, hey girl, what's up? You're doing the damn thing. Get out there, girl, and do it. You know? So that to me is a really good way to work on taking inspired action, is like setting a sign for yourself and then allowing the universe to deliver that sign to you. It's a really beautiful way to work through it, in my opinion. Now, lastly, I did pull the energy you currently are embodying and the energy you want to move towards. And I feel like this is highly symbolic of what we've been talking about. And we have, you're currently maybe in more of an emperor state, or you feel like maybe there is an emperor that is influencing you, and you want to move into the state of the Chariot. So The Emperor is someone who can be a father figure in your life. It can be you that is a father figure. And rest assured, mothers come in the form of fathers all the time. It is not a gender-based thing. But this is also somebody who is maybe in authority over you, or you have authority over others. This is somebody who feels like maybe they have more control over their life. It definitely is more of a masculine energy that is being embodied. But again, I want to allow you to rest easy knowing that I also embody masculine energy and I identify as a female. Like, it doesn't matter. But it's definitely more of a dominant masculine energy. And something that comes with the Emperor is this idea that you have to be on all the time. Meaning, don't get me wrong, we stand on Emperor energy when they're in their power, but if this is something that we're trying to move away from, I really want to focus more on the negative aspects. So the Emperor can be someone that thinks they need to constantly be producing or constantly be working in order to make a living or make things work for them. So as I gave that reference earlier about like recreating your YouTube channel, if that's something that maybe you're doing, I don't know why that message came to me specifically. I'm betting that one or more of you is doing that or thinking about it. But let's say, for example, you're wanting to recreate your YouTube channel or your side business, and you have this idea that you have to do so much work and embody this like girl boss or super boss attitude around things, and you have to be working like 18-hour days to get anywhere and just like killing yourself basically to have this desire manifest. What happens when you get into that mind state is a lot of you will freeze and do nothing, or you'll be afraid to make any changes because you're afraid of the workload that is going to come with it. And interestingly enough, the only thing that you need to know and do is literally do anything. Do anything that you feel like is inspired action, because the Chariot tells me that you're not missing any components. You're not missing a certain mindset. You're not missing any tools. You're not missing equipment. You're not missing, like, there's nothing for your journey that you are currently missing. You have all the tools at your disposal. You have everything that you need. All you need to do is load up your wagon and start moving. So start working towards one of these options, or start working towards your destination. Stop letting yourself sit in this fearful, stagnant energy and actually move. That's all you got to do is start moving, start taking the inspired action to go forward. And I hope this reading rests with you guys easily. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at kozykale, and I will see you guys in a future reading. Bye. Hello there, pile number 4. For you guys, we have a few cards. I'm just going to lay these out for you real quick. And we have more. I'm just going to kind of talk about these ones first real quick. But first and foremost, we have a couple of reversals going on. And right off the bat, I see with these two cards that you may have a little bit too much emphasis on caring what other people think. And it's actually causing you to be a little more hostile in the pursuit of your own happiness. And so something to transform for you is honestly the emphasis that you put on other people and the material world. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're embodying these two. And honestly, with a reverse Knight of Cups coming in, I feel like this is like you feel maybe a little bit disempowered by some of the people around you. Somebody is telling you that your dreams are pipe dreams and you're never going to manifest them. They're never going to come into reality. And that's completely ridiculous. Literally, you can have anything that you desire, and that is the truth. Anything that you desire that is for your highest and greatest good will come. And so I feel like somebody's kind of maybe put you down a little bit, and it's actually caused you to kind of go internal a little bit more, but the external that you're giving off is this like need to fight for your dreams and goals, which is a good thing. Like, keep that air about you, keep that air of, you know, piss off. These are my dreams. These are my goals. I'll do what I please. But recognize that you're not going to be able to change these people's minds. I actually feel like this card, especially in this deck, it's like they're coming to burn the witch, and they don't care if you're saying, but look how much good I do. Look how great this magical practice is. Look how peaceful I'm being. Look at this, look at this, look at this. They don't care. And they're not going to care until they come to terms on it on their own, or they may never care. And that's, I feel like, a really hard truth that you're having to transform this season, is that not everybody is going to support what you're doing, and you kind of have to come into your own full power, because others are going to constantly try to disempower you. That's just sadly the world that we live in. There are always going to be people out there that for some reason or another, they're jealous of what you have, or they're upset internally, even if it's on a subconscious level, that they didn't go after their dreams with such ferocity. So now they're trying to put it in your head that that's ridiculous and you'll never make it. But I don't think they say those things because they want to hurt you. They're saying those things because they think they're saving you from hurting yourself because of what they've experienced in life. And so I would really challenge you guys, if this is the situation and the pile that you've chosen, I would really challenge you to try to come at these people with compassion and recognize that they are not necessarily the people you need to share all of your hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals with, but just recognize that they are the way that they are for a reason. They weren't like, they once had dreams, wishes, and hopes too. And over whatever has happened to them in their life, no matter how old they are, they've come to a place of not really believing that they can have those things. And so they're just trying to, what they perceive is to protect you. So I think for a lot of you guys, this could be a parental figure. This also could be a friend. I am getting the sense that it might be somebody older in your life that is kind of pressing this issue, but I would caution you that if there's a dream that you really have, it's no use being this person trying to explain and make them understand. Like, I'm not saying that they will never understand, because for some of you they might, but sitting there and fighting and arguing, it's like they're in a place where they're not trying to listen to you so that they can actually hear you. They're listening to you just to respond. And so they're not going to hear anything that you're saying. And in turn, that's making you feel really defeated and really disempowered, and like your dreams are ridiculous. And it might even cause you to be feeling, I don't want to say overly emotional, because I don't even believe that that's a real thing. Like, I think when you experience emotion, like, nobody overreacts ever. Like, seriously, I hate that phrase. Oh, so-and-so overreacted. No, you're never overreacting. You're reacting because something really hurt you. And it's never an overreaction in the moment. That doesn't exist. That's what society has told us, that when you trigger a past trauma experience, society has told us that that is an overreaction, when in reality, it's just you playing out a pattern that you have already had ingrained in you that was really painful. So I don't think that you're overreacting, but I do think it's really catching you in your feelings, and it's making you feel very disempowered and wounded. And so instead of just looking at the situation for what it is, which is somebody who doesn't understand where you're coming from and isn't trying to understand where you're coming from, because they only see the world through one lens, because it's what they've experienced and they think that they know better. And recognize that they're never going to be in your heart. They're never going to be in your mind. They're never going to live the life that you are currently living. And so therefore, you don't need to explain your direction to them, your dreams to them, your hopes to them. You just need to make good on what you're doing for yourself. And the best way that you can do that is actually to get more in touch with your inner child. For some of you guys, this is actually going to be healing your inner child. I talk about this a lot, and someday maybe I'll get the balls to make a video on this, but healing your inner child, especially no matter what age you are, actually, it's something that is so rewarding, because all of us, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you had the most perfect set of parents in your life you ever could have imagined having, everybody has wounds from childhood, because there is a point in everyone's life where they do not have the brain to comprehend what is going on around them. And so certain things hurt. I mean, even the birthing process alone is very traumatic. So everybody has a wounded child in them. We are all wounded children running around wounding each other until we've healed those parts of us. So I do think for some of you guys, this actually is going to be doing inner child work, doing inner child guided meditations, maybe even seeking therapy where you guys specifically work on healing the inner child and going over those past hurts so that you can actually become fully healed and go forth in almost like a new foundation is being built for you from the base of you up. For some of you guys, you're just going to need to get into a state that is a little bit more playful. The child card to me really corresponds to the zodiac sign of Leo. And if you don't have any good Leos in your life, you need to find some because they will teach you how to play. Leo is honestly to me the sign that truly does embody self-love. They are, I mean, they're not necessarily the children. I feel like that's really more Aries, but Leo to me, they know how to love on themselves and they teach the world how to do that. So get you some good Leo friends, get yourself into a state of being a little bit more playful with things. And even if this that's going on up here that is painful, try to look at it like a game. The more you treat your life like it is a dream and a game, the more dreamlike and fun it will become. And so if life is a game and you're just playing for funsies, you're going to have such a more extraordinary time doing it. And it's going to be so much more fun. Even the conversations that used to maybe set you back or disempower you or what have you, if you look at it, I'm trying to think of a good way that you could put yourself in a position of it feeling more like a game, but it could even be a game that you just play by yourself, like almost challenging yourself in the moment to look past this guise that's being shown to you and challenge yourself to pick 5 ways which you can silently direct compassion at this person or these people that aren't supportive, or ask yourself in ways that you can support them. And I know that when somebody has really put you down on yourself, it's very, very, very difficult sometimes to come at them with love and compassion because you don't feel like you're receiving love and compassion. But rest assured, going forward in that kind of way is going to be, it's going to get you to the root of the cause so much faster. And you will see results so much faster when you bring love into the situation. So I do feel like that's a lot of it for some of you. For others of you, I feel like this card also could signify actually having a child, and maybe you're feeling challenged by other parents in your life that are trying to tell you every which way to raise this kid when it's your decision ultimately, and it's also the child's decision and the decisions that they will make as they age. So it could be a battle over that's going on. And just, I mean, look at this baby. Look at how happy this little, beautiful, angelic child is. They are going to bring, if it is an actual child, they're going to bring such love and light into your life. I can't wait. I'm so excited for you. Now, something else I want to point out is we did pull the Ace of Earth reversed. And I feel like with this card, it really talks about putting too much emphasis on finances. So I think some of you are also feeling disempowered because you feel like you don't have the finances to do what you're trying to do. It's like, oh, Chloe, that's my name. Chloe is sitting here telling me that I need to go out and play and things will just be easy. But like, bitch, I got bills to pay. I don't have time to play. I'm telling you right here, right now, you have time. If you have time to watch Netflix in the evening, you have time to play. There's like too much emphasis going into the material world for you. There's too much emphasis on financial security, too much emphasis on all the reasons why certain things can't be a reality in the physical plane. And it's just not true. It's frankly just not true. When we have cards like these come up in a reverse position, they always symbolize a blockage of something within you that needs to be worked through or transformed, which is what we're focusing on in this reading. So I do feel like it's like gratitude is the word that's coming up, is like getting into a state of being thankful for the things that you already do have. In terms of financial abundance, like having internet to watch this video, having a bed to sleep in or a car, if that's where you're at right now in life, you know, it's something. Being grateful for exactly where you are in the current position will help you to see more abundance. The more you start to notice the abundance you already have, the more abundance is going to flow into your life. That's just how it works. Now, the last thing I have for you is, oops, these actually go this way. The energy that you are currently embodying and the energy that you want to look into transforming to in this season. So currently we have temperance. I feel like you guys have actually maybe been more than patient with this person and you're starting to lose your cool. And you're actually being asked to not lose your cool and to actually keep strength because I wonder if I could find it. My deck is too far away and I don't want to move. Sorry, guys. The strength card, though, normally it depicts this woman holding open a lion's mouth and she's not like prying it open. She's not being vicious about it. It's very gentle and the lion is trusting her. And so I feel like this is really you guys having to use gentleness and compassion to come through feeling victorious and full of strength. And again, I'm not telling you that this means that these people up here are going to agree with you. I don't necessarily think that's always going to happen. Sometimes it will. For some of you, you will get people to understand you. However, I think for a lot of you, they don't want to listen anyways. And the best thing that you can do is not allow them to control your mindset. Keep yourself in this patient, because the beautiful thing about temperance is it's creating pure alchemy. You creating pure alchemy in your life by keeping yourself, your words, your thoughts, your deeds in this like peaceful place and knowing that what you're after is going to materialize anyways. Knowing that it is literally your birthright to live that way. And nobody can take that away from you. So it's like, I don't even think you need to shift out of temperance. It's like you need to keep the patience, keep temperance. But do so by maintaining this strength. And know that if you do that, you literally are going to come out more victorious than you even originally thought. Because having the strength to overcome something like that, something where people are just constantly not listening, it's like, hold on to that feeling of the moment that they do hear you. Especially for some of you that maybe are starting businesses or trying to go off on creative adventures or trying to make something of yourself in the world. Think about the moment that they realize that they were wrong. And maybe that's a bad way for me to advise you because, but honestly, if that helps you at all, like imagining that perfect reality, eventually I would hope that you would get to a place where you don't need their validation or their acceptance. But sometimes on the journey to get there, we have to take a few pit stops. And I find that that's a really good transitionary way to use that, is to envision that acceptance, envision already being validated by that person that you want it so badly from, and use your mental strength to get there. Anyways, you guys, I hope this reading helped you. I hope it guided you. Please know that your dreams and your goals and your endeavors are so, so important and so worthwhile. You were not given desires in this life to not see them fulfilled. You were not given ideas and creativity and talents to not see those things manifest into something beautiful. We're given those things for a reason, because you wanted to incarnate in this lifetime with those gifts so that you could use them in a special way that is meaningful for you. So please don't let anybody silence that part of you. Please stay strong. We need you. We need more creative types in the world. We need more parents that want to raise their kids in a certain way that is more... I always like to think that the generation coming in is like a bunch of rainbow children. They're so special, and they deserve special parents that want to do things in new, innovative ways. So thank you so very much. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at kozykale, and I will see you guys in a future reading. Bye.